What's going on, guys? Welcome to Test This Tech. This is Jarrell of JPower Network. Obviously, if you care for the videos, if you like them, literally hit the like button. It helps them go around the internet. Subscribing is a big help too. There's going to be more content to the channel, and I appreciate everybody. Today, we are talking about this guy, the Maono Pro Studio Lite audio interface. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit. It's not going to be a full extensive review, but I'm going to give you enough information as far as like, hey, should I go with this? Should I go with a Focusrite, a Universal Audio Volt 1? What should I do? I see a lot of cheap audio interfaces on Amazon, and this came across this one. So this is a pretty solid interface. Let me give you a little bit of the specs here. This is on the box. 24-bit, 192 kilohertz, which is actually great, that it's up to date there. You're starting to see more 32-bit, but 24-bit is still, happening. People are still using it. It's not out of date entirely. It does have a combo jack, so there's two inputs on this, actually. So you have one that's a combo jack. You have another that is just a regular 1/4 inch for a guitar. It has instrument support, as I mentioned, and it does have a driver. So just to let you know, sorry about the nose sound there. Just to let you know, when you buy this and you plug it in, it's not going to work unless you download the driver. So, you can type in Maono Pro Studio driver. It'll take you to the website, download that driver, let it install, and then after it's done, it's going to say unplug the device and then plug it back in. And then, turn off whatever software you were using. So for me, OBS, or for whatever, your DAW, whatever, and turn it back on. It should work again. And ever since I did that, it has worked. It has worked. It's been recognized. I haven't had any issues of it not recognizing it or anything like that. So that has been really positive. Now there is about 56 dB of gain on this. I know there's some audio interfaces that are getting towards the 60, the 70 range. I will let you know, for the 56 dB of gain, that is actually enough to drive an SM7B. This is a Superlux D421 microphone. This is actually modeled after the SM7B. It has its own sound, but it's still modeled after it. It's a very gain hungry microphone. This actually has even the capsule distance from the grill is pretty far, like the SM7B, and this is very gain hungry, and this actually runs it. So I will say the mic gain is all the way almost at 100%, but I'm able to get this adjusted where I am still able to, I'm not hearing a whole lot of background noise, which is really great. So the headphone amp is solid. It is a good headphone amp. The direct monitoring is pretty good. If there's any gripes to this particular interface, it is like when they say Pro Studio Lite, it's really light. Like, it is literally a light device. So it's not going to feel as premium as a Volt 1 or as a Focusrite, but it still does the same functionality. So just take care of it. Be very careful with this device. Don't drop it. I've dropped my Universal Audio Volt 1, but that one is made of metal. There's a metal chassis and casing, and I've been lucky that it hasn't messed up on me. If I drop this guy, it'd be a different story. So just be very, very careful with this device, okay? I did test the 40 volts of phantom power. It works fine. It works great. I was using this guy. This is a you guys probably never have heard of this mic, but this is a ProTech or MicTech Procast. It's actually a USB and an XLR super cardioid condenser microphone. Works fine. The gain was at 12 o'clock. And it also, the Pro Studio does have little monitor outs. So as you can see here, you can plug them into some speakers or what have you. Overall, I've had a pretty solid experience. There's only two things that I wish that this thing had, this particular device. As you can see here, you see the red all around the first mic gain dial. So that is obvious. It's going to be red if you're clipping, but if you're not clipping, there's no indicator lights for where your audio is at as far as just a healthy gain stage. So that is a negative thing. You would have to look at whatever virtual monitoring of your gain to see if you're going to be clipping or not, or how loud your audio is. So for example, on OBS, it has the audio mixer. It shows my gain level so I can see it. Zoom, it'll show something like that in particular. Obviously, if you're looking at something that shows those monitorings, but this isn't really the best thing to have to monitor your gain level unless you're clipping. But if you're not clipping, you can't see where your gain's at besides the notches, right? So I would like for Maono to release another version of this that has that particular, those gain levels, because I do like how this is designed. I like the facing out all the knobs and stuff, but fix that. One of the biggest annoyances for me is there's no mute button. There's no mute button on this. Okay, so the cool thing about this is that you can use this for multiple use cases, right? You can use it to record music technically. You can use it for a podcast. You can use this for game streaming or whatnot. If you want a really good sound, because this does produce a pretty clean sound here. If you want a clean sound, you can use one of these guys, but there's no mute button. So if you're using a dynamic microphone and you're in a situation where you got to mute, you just got to turn your gain knob all the way down, and that can be kind of annoying, unless you just mute on board on whatever device or software that you're using when you're doing the game streaming or whatnot, right? So that is to be noted there. I wish they made a mute button because, the Elgato, they have their interface as well that's kind of similar to this, but it has a mute button. It has a capacitive mute button that you can press to mute the device. It's on the back for some reason, I think, but I would like to see them release another one with gain levels and to have a mute button. Like, it's going to make a world difference, okay? It's going to make a world difference. They do have some software on here where you can route the audio, which is pretty cool. I'm a little confused on it, to be honest, just as a consumer. I try to do these reviews as a consumer, not like I'm the professional that uses this. Like, no, like most people buying this stuff, like 80% are going to be like super profeshies. So, when it comes to this guy, I would have to do some additional research on that virtual software stuff. But if you just want to plug in, you want to use it the way you've been using, a Focusrite for Universal Audio Volt 1. Yeah, this will do the job. You just have to download the driver. So again, this guy was $48. I think it's 50% off on Amazon right now. And if you have Prime, free shipping, that's also a plus. Of course, the taxes are going to take the fucking price back up. But yeah, this is a pretty solid interface. You just have to be really careful with it. So if you have any questions, put them into the comments. Again, test this tech. Let me know what you thought of the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.